little secret. You're going to learn about some foods tonight that have anti-angiogenic properties that God has already laden them with everything that we need to heal cancer. Okay? So let's get started. Now, if I was going to tell you one thing, I would tell you that we can actually eat to starve cancer, because we can cut off that blood supply by the food that we eat. And that way that cancer can't be fed and it can't spread throughout our body. Okay, so diet is the one most important thing you can do if you've got cancer. And I don't care what your doctor tells you, or I don't care if they feed you candy. Diet is important when you have cancer. It's very important. Now, if I was just going to give you a summary of everything I was going to say tonight and just say it in one slide, I would say eat the rainbow. And here's what I mean. I would fill my plate up with the most colorful fruits and vegetables that I could. Because if you do, you're going to be fueling your body with all kinds of antioxidants and phytochemicals that are going to help fight disease. The brighter the color, the more they have. Okay, so you want to eat the rainbow. There's not one single food that you can just eat by itself, guys. You have to eat a variety of these foods that have these anti-angiogenic properties, just like it says up here. But if you can do that daily and combine these foods, you're going to see at the end, I've got a testimony of just one person, and there's a lot of them that have done this. You can heal your cancer in this way. And again, I'm going to keep saying all night, diet is the place to start if you want to beat cancer, okay? So let's get started. Whoops. All right, leafy green vegetables, and I'm going to run through these as quickly as I can. Leafy green vegetables are some of the most powerful plants on the planet, because leafy green vegetables, they are foods that have some very good compounds that are anti-angiogenic, and they can actually block early cancer development if you eat leafy green vegetables. Leafy green vegetables also are known to reduce cancer growth. They're antibacterial and they're antiviral. Now, I want to say one thing about antibacterial and antiviral. That's really something besides helping us with cancer. What that means is it will help fight off a bacteria that might be coming into your body, or it would help you if you're getting a virus like the cold or the flu. So when it gets cold season and flu season, start eating more of your leafy greens, okay, because they're going to help with that. Brightly colored orange, red, yellow, purple. I don't have that color up there, but anything, like I said in the beginning, the brighter, the better. These are full of phytochemicals, guys, powerful things that God's laden in them that will battle cancer. And they contain one specific thing called beta-carotene. And it is actually what gives the leafy greens and these colorful vegetables their color. Okay, but it's a very big cancer-fighting agent. And if you eat these, they're known to reduce cancer cell growth as well. You can see all of these are going to be such big anti-cancer fighters because they have these anti-angiogenic properties. And they help with detoxification, that beta-carotene that they contain. And if you have cancer right now and you're in this room, you need to be detoxing your body. You've got to get the toxins out of your body. And it's especially important if you're somebody who's taking chemo or radiation. You have to get those poisons out of your body. So eating these foods are going to help with that. They also promote liver health, which goes along with detoxing your body. You need a strong, healthy liver, and they will help with that. And they also boost our immune system. God has given us our immune system, and it is like our own army that fights off disease. But we have to feed our body with foods that are going to boost that immune system and keep it healthy. And these are some of the foods that will do that. And they also help, he's already mentioned heart disease. These foods also help with heart disease. Just wanted to throw that in there, even though I'm kind of talking about cancer. So colorful foods, fill your plate up with them. The next one is one of my favorites, cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables are things like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and cruciferous vegetables contain powerful anti-cancer compounds, and they are known to detoxify and remove carcinogens from your body. They also kill cancer cells. So, I mean, be eating that broccoli, buddy. I mean, be putting it in your mouth. They are known to kill cancer cells. They prevent tumors from growing. Okay, so remember I showed you that turmeric. That's that anti-angiogenic property that they have, that they keep those tumors from growing. And another important thing is they decrease inflammation. When you have inflammation in your body, it's like one of the first steps to any kind of disease. So you don't want to have inflammation. So eat your Brussels sprouts, eat your broccoli, eat your cauliflower. And they also suppress tumors. Again, all of this is stopping tumor growth. And let me just stop right here for a second. Everything I'm telling you is backed by scientific research. I'm not making anything up. I wouldn't know where to even get this stuff. But it's all based on scientific research. There's so much going on right now about the powerful compounds that are in the foods that we eat. And it also stimulates cancer cells to self-destruct. If we have cancer cells in our body, you want them to blow up, okay? You don't want them to stay there. Cruciferous vegetables will help with that. So you need to be eating those as well. Celery. I already had somebody today that doesn't like celery. I won't say who, but it was somebody that was on the bus with me today. I didn't say a word when she was talking about it. I knew I'd be talking about it tonight. But celery is another powerful green stalk, guys. It's powerful. It also contains 2 powerful anti-cancer compounds, and it has a high anti-angiogenic property to cut off those blood vessels and that blood supply to cancer. And it combats free radicals in our body. And without going into a lot of science on free radicals, it's kind of like we've got our immune system that fights off disease, our own little army. Well, free radicals are like the bad army that comes in our body that tries to cause disease. So celery helps to combat the free radicals. And listen, this is the most powerful anti-inflammatory food there is, celery. And so here's what they say in the research. Celery is more powerful than some anti-inflammatory drugs. So eat your celery if you want to keep inflammation down in your body. Now, I'm going to switch gears. There's a lot more vegetables. Tonight, you're going to leave here. I have printed off a handout for everybody of all the foods that are cancer-fighting foods, okay, because I couldn't talk about them all tonight. So I'm going to jump from some vegetables now and talk about a powerful herb and spice, okay, turmeric. And if I was going to tell somebody one particular thing to do if they had cancer, it would be to use this on a daily basis. It's that powerful. It is probably one of the most powerful anti-cancer foods that they've discovered so far because it contains an active ingredient called curcumin, okay? And curcumin is known to kill cancer cells. And I mean, they are doing all kinds of research on turmeric right now. It also destroys resistant cancer cells that are resistant to chemotherapy, resistant to radiation. And this is why it's in the news so much, because it's doing things that chemo and radiation cannot do. It also is able to destroy the stem cells. Now, again, without going into a whole lot, but to make you understand this, when you have cancer, there's one like stem cell that starts out as cancer, and then like all these daughter cells come from it, okay? When you have chemo and radiation only kills the daughter cells, and it never kills the stem cell. Turmeric can kill the stem cell. So when they come back sometimes with people and they'll say, oh, your cancer came back 5 years later or 10 years later, it really didn't come back. The stem cell was always there. It was never gone, okay? So this is powerful, but there's something you got to do when you use turmeric. You need to use it with black pepper. Black pepper enhances the absorption rate of turmeric. So you want to use 1 teaspoon of turmeric to 1/4 teaspoon black pepper. Now, I just put this in foods that I eat, but I'm working with 2 cancer patients right now, and they're so sold on turmeric that they put their teaspoon of turmeric, their 4th teaspoon of black pepper, and they put it in a teaspoon of honey and stir it up and eat it every day. Okay? They swear to me it tastes good. I've not tried it, but that's what they say, okay? So all of this is on your handout, though, so you'll know how much to use. And, you know, if you want to prevent cancer, be putting that turmeric in your food. Be putting that turmeric and black pepper in there, okay, because that's going to help. How many in here has ever heard of SEAT? Okay, you are in for a surprise and a treat, man. SEAT is powerful, okay? It is a traditional Native American formula that was rediscovered by a Canadian cancer nurse named Renee Cassie. And she perfected this recipe for this tea with her lifelong research partner, who was the personal physician to JFK, okay? So she worked on this a long time. And it's a mixture of roots and barks, and all these things that's in it are used worldwide as other healing properties, but she uses it in this tea to heal cancer. And it's got burdock root, sheep sorrel, slippery elm, and Indian rhubarb in it. And those are the ingredients that are in her tea. Now, this is what's neat about her Essiac tea. I would encourage you to look her up online. The doctors, she did this back in the 20s and the 30s, was what kind of like the height of her career with this. And the doctors up there only sent her the worst patients, the patients that had no hope. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about somebody who'd had surgery, that had the treatments, and the doctor finally says, there's nothing else we can do for you. Those were the patients they sent to her. Or it was that patient who was diagnosed at stage 4, and they said, oh, just go home, get your affairs in order. You know, there's nothing we can do. These are the people that they sent to her, and guess what she did? She healed them. Now, 8 respected doctors. She was so renowned for what she was doing up there in Canada. 8 respected doctors put out this statement about her. They said, Nurse Cassie's Essiac tea can do no harm. In other words, it has no negative side effects. None. It relieves pain. There's a lot of pain for some people when they have cancer, okay? It reduces the tumor or the growth. And what else they said about her tea was that her tea, Lord, I forgot the 4th one. Help me, Jesus. Okay. All right, it's out of my mind. Forget it. I don't know what it is. But anyway, trust me, there was 4 things they said about her. And the neat thing about her, she never charged a dime for her tea. Now, I will tell you this, because I'm going to be totally honest with you. It tastes like, okay? But it's not a sipping tea. If you knew this was going to heal your body, I think you could drink a cup of this tea a day, okay? So I just want to warn you about that. But if you do buy the Essiac tea online, you need to make sure you get her original formula, because her recipe's out there now and other people are trying to make it. But you want her original formula, so if you buy it, it needs to have her picture on the box, okay? And if you know somebody with cancer, I'd be putting them on this Essiac tea right now. Now, you might be saying, well, why aren't people using this? Well, as bad as I hate to say this, and if there's any doctors in the room, don't shoot me, this is a money racket, guys. Cancer is a money racket. And if we find something that's cheap like this, that actually is working, it kind of gets suppressed, okay? But this is one of those things that God has just put on the face of this earth that this woman has used in a mighty way to heal people. Now, let's move on to some fruits. Red grapes is another powerful thing that you can eat because it contains resveratrol, which is a really good antioxidant. And there's a lot of research right now going on about resveratrol. And if you eat grapes, you have the potential to even stop cancer from even starting. That's how powerful resveratrol is. So if you want to prevent cancer, you want to eat red grapes, purple grapes, the colorful grapes. Now, there was one research that was done recently, and I thought this was very interesting. It was shown to block the development of skin, breast, and 12 different kinds of leukemia cancer, resveratrol. That's how powerful that it is, okay? And the red and purple grapes have a lot more resveratrol than the green grapes do. So you want to get the colorful. Remember everything I told you in the beginning? It's about the color. Get those bright colors. And one thing you want to do is leave your skin intact. The resveratrol is in the skin. It's in the skin of the grape, okay? Another one is berries. Berries are powerful as well. All berries are powerful, okay, because they also contain resveratrol. They actually, oh, this is a side note. I forgot I put this up here. If you want to grow old and look beautiful, berries are anti-aging. So that has nothing to do with cancer, but I thought I'd just tell you that anyway, okay? So you want to eat berries. Now, berries are also known to lower that free radical damage. Remember that kind of bad army that's trying to come in and invade your army? They have that same power to do that as well. They can stop tumor growth because they have that anti-angiogenic property as well. But I want to tell you this, and I don't think I have it up there on the slide. Black raspberries have more resveratrol of all the berries. So if you know someone with cancer, That's the specific berry that's the best if you're trying to beat cancer at that time, would be black raspberries. They also act as an antioxidant, which a lot of these have antioxidants in them. And berries slow the production of the reproduction of cancer cells because they contain something called alechic acid. Okay? And alechic acid has all these different properties that slow in the production of the cancer cell. They also protect the body from cell damage. And they just have a host of other properties, but it's something called alechic acid. And sorry, I hit my button too soon. I'm trying to hurry, okay? Mushrooms are kind of unique. Mushrooms don't need sun to grow. They don't have leaves. They don't have roots. They're just kind of unique, okay? But the U.S. Department of Agriculture in the United States considers them a vegetable, even though they're not, because they say that they provide so many of nutritional attributes that vegetables supply. So here in the United States, they're considered a vegetable. But they are immune enhancers. They really boost your immune system. So any kind of mushroom is going to be good for you. They come in varieties, shapes, and the benefits of all of them are just well known worldwide. They use them all around the world and have been for centuries to fight disease. We just don't use them a lot here in the U.S. They actually fight tumor growth as well because they have that anti-angiogenic property, and they help with cell regeneration too. Okay? Whoops, my clicker. Okay, and they prevent cancer cells from growing and dividing, and that goes along with the cancer-fighting anti-angiogenic property that they have. Wheatgrass, real quick. Yes, ma'am. I thought you were signaling it was time. I was trying to hurry. Okay. I use mushrooms. She asked, her question was, how do you cook mushrooms? You can saute mushrooms and just eat sauteed mushrooms, or I put them in all kinds of dishes, you know. I mean, I make my own pizza at home, or I'll put them in a casserole. But my husband and I love sauteed mushrooms and just put them in a pan and saute them with some butter or olive oil. So, okay, I was trying to hurry because I thought that's what she's wanting. Okay. Wheatgrass, let me tell you something about wheatgrass. If you don't know what wheatgrass is, it's like taking a shotgun to cancer. That's how powerful that wheatgrass is. You want to hear what all I've got to say about wheatgrass. First off, it has chlorophyll in it, and it has a lot of it. Chlorophyll is almost the same genetic makeup as our hemoglobin. And so by eating it, because it's got so much chlorophyll in it, it helps us to have more oxygen in our body and have a more oxygenated body. It also contains selenium, which is another powerful cancer fighter as well. So it's got chlorophyll and selenium, and it builds your immune system. And that's what's going to fight off disease, whether it's cancer or anything else. You need that strong immune system. And here's one big powerful thing about wheatgrass. It is one of the most alkaline foods you can eat. Now, our body has a pH, and it can either be acidic or it can be alkaline. If you have an acidic pH, you're more prone to disease like cancer and all these other diseases. If you have an alkaline body, you're going to be more healthy and you're going to fight disease. So you want to eat foods that are alkaline and not foods that are acidic. And it also contains all these vitamins, 13, including vitamin B12. It contains trace elements and minerals, and it also contains all 20 amino acids. Now, how do you drink wheatgrass, okay? First off, it's like SEAT. It does not taste good, okay? But what some people do that have cancer is they use a shot glass. I know you guys don't drink liquor, but we know what a shot glass is, okay? And so these people will take a shot of wheatgrass and drink it a day, okay? That's the way to down it because it doesn't taste good. Or you can put it in a smoothie or a shake so that you don't notice the yucky taste, okay? But guys, wheatgrass is powerful. I'd be including that in my diet right now, whether or not I had cancer or not. Legumes, which is like peas, beans, lentils, these are all good for you too. They have a lot of powerful phytochemicals and flavonoids, and without going into scientific of what those are, just trust me, they're good things that God has put in there, okay? And what's neat about them is they just did some research on this that said if you will eat beans, peas, legumes, all these on a regular basis, you have a much lower risk of getting any kind of digestive tract cancer. So starting right here and going all the way down to where the food exits, okay, you're going to have a lower chance of getting any kind of digestive tract cancer. And they also contain a lot of fiber, which is also good for you as well. Nuts and seeds are one of my favorite snacks, but they're also great cancer fighters, okay? Walnuts is the nut you want to eat, okay? It is the most powerful of the nuts and the seeds when it comes to fighting cancer because it contains so many good nutrients that's going to help in your fight with cancer. Walnuts contain electric acid like berries did. So look, give cancer a double whammy. Eat berries and walnuts every day, okay, because it's going to really help with your fight against cancer. Seeds and nuts like sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, Brazil nuts, almonds. I mean, all the nuts and seeds contain fatty acids that we need. Now, let me just tell you, peanuts are not a nut, okay? I know Georgia's the peanut place. Okay, sorry. But they grow in the ground, and nuts grows on trees, okay? So they're not a real nut. Two powerful seeds that you can eat are flax seeds and chia seeds. They're more powerful than the other seeds because they contain just a little bit more than they do. They contain a little more fatty acids than they do. They also contain a lot of nutrients that the other seeds don't have. And so you want to try to get flax seeds and chia seeds in, and those go really good in a smoothie or a shake. They're easy to include in your diet. Now, I'm almost to the end. I'm hurrying. I put this up here about leukemia just to let you know that it doesn't matter what kind of cancer you have. These foods will help in your fight with cancer. Because remember at the beginning when I explained what angiogenesis was, we were talking about cutting off blood supply to a tumor. Well, if you know anything about leukemia, you know that it's a totally different type of cancer. It actually has to do with your bone marrow, lymphatic system, that sort of thing. But quercetin is something that's in a whole lot of fruits and vegetables. And all I did is put a few up here that are some of the foods that are highest in something called quercetin. And research has been done that it can actually really end your cancer if you have leukemia, if you eat foods that are high in quercetin. And you're going to have all these foods on a handout I'm going to give you tonight. Now, remember what I said. I keep putting this up here, and I want to put it one more time. I said it in the beginning. Not one food by itself is going to cure your cancer. It's a combination, guys, of eating what God has given us. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. And people have already said it up here tonight. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. If you've ever studied anatomy and physiology, you know what our body is like. It's amazing. But here's our problem right now in our country. We don't eat the good things that God's given us that makes our body run like it's supposed to run. These things I'm telling you, these are the foods He's supplied for us in His medicine cabinet that's going to help our body do what it needs to do to fight cancer and other diseases. You've got to put this variety of foods in your diet every single day. Put a variety of these foods in. Now, I'm going to let them show you a real quick video, and I'm not going to show you the last two slides because I'm going to hurry up and end. But the last two slides are just two slides that are showing you what you're going to get in a handout, and you're going to get to take them home with you. But before I show you this video, I do want to tell you one thing. If you want more information, I had about 7 pages that I wanted to print off and give you. That's a lot of copies, okay? So if you want them, my email's on the handout you're going to get. And you email me, I'll send you all that information, okay? Just email me and I'll send it to you. If you don't mind hitting, and let's play this video, and I'll talk just a little bit when she's done. You just have to hit the, hit the link at the bottom. The link right here where it says Facebook. Look, okay, hang on. I'm sorry. Can we go back? Here, I can go back. Okay. Now, hit that link. And it should come up. Hopefully. Maybe double click it. Well, no, it went back. Okay. All right, it's not going to show her video, so I'm just going to tell you what she says, okay? Kathy, I do a podcast with my business, and if she comes on, I'll stop talking. But Kathy was my very first podcast that I did. And Kathy was diagnosed 12 years ago, first off with breast cancer, and she did all the treatments, everything they wanted her to do. A year later, she had cancer on the back of her neck and on her head. And again, she did all the treatments that they wanted her to do. She had 2 young children, and after doing all these treatments, her organs began to fail and she was dying. And so she told her doctors, I'm done. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die some other way. I'm not going to die doing all this treatment. So she began a search on her own. And if you could watch the video, she talks about angiogenesis. She found out about anti-angiogenic foods. And she started eating these foods. And she started using meditation every day, meditating to God, not just praying to God, meditating every day on His Word and really talking to Him. And so she says through meditation and through eating these anti-angiogenic foods, she healed her body. And remember, she was dying. Her organs were failing. That was 12 years ago. She's healthy. She doesn't have any cancer. And now she does the same thing I do. She coaches people with cancer and helps them learn about all these foods that they can eat. So I am going to turn it over to, I'm not really sure who, but thank you for having me here. And I'm sorry I zipped through this so fast. I hope you got something out of it. And God bless.
At this time, I just want to tell you all, I'm 23 years. Everything on this video I have used. Everything. There's nothing on there. The only thing that's different on the Easy-Act, it's a better way. It's called Essence tea. You don't have to do the work that's required with the Easy-Act because it takes about 10 hours to make the Easy-Act tea. But thank you so much, and thank you for allowing people to know what I did, because everything, my house is full of all of this stuff, and I want to praise God for teaching me how to live 23 years, because every time I'm somewhere and I hear of people who took the chemo, who did all this stuff, it makes me tremble that I'm still alive 23 years later, and it's only God. We are so delighted to have Mr. Travis Wilson with us, and he is going to play, but while he is playing, we want you to turn around and shake somebody's hand while he is doing that. You want to say something first? Okay.
have the honor of introducing our keynote speaker. She is a native of Martinsville, Virginia. She's married to Jesse Villa. God blessed them with 2 children, and he also added to their family a niece and son-in-law. She's a 10-year cancer survivor. Amen. She loves the Lord and is beautiful both inside and out. She has done endless work to assist individuals who have been directly and indirectly touched by cancer. Her bio is listed in the program, so I know you are eager to hear from her tonight. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Mrs. Patricia Villa. Okay, good. All right.